there was a committee set up by Uchendu. And the chairman of that committee is still living today, Donye Mugochukwu. With some, one local government, we all sat down and agreed against all odds. And Uchendu was able to cede the governorship seat to Abia South, following the Abia Charter of Equity. And now, there is this discussions, these agitations, that power will remain in part of Abia Central. When the governor invited me to his house to tell me that he wants to have the governor remain in Umunneato, which is Isioma, Isialangwa North and Isialangwa South, I told him, no, it is wrong for you to do that. It is the turn of Abia North. All you need to do is to look for somebody in Abia North to become governor. The next, after 8 years, it will come back to Abia Central. Now, my brothers in Abia Central of Ngwa Extraction will now contest with Umuahia Aziz to say, when he came first to Abia Central, you took first. Now, we will concede. We will concede. But unfortunately, because his people, so many people, which have been advising people against, if you are in a position of authority, appoint advisors that will advise you, and not advisors that you will advise. And that's exactly what is happening with my friend, the governor. He appointed advisors that he is advising, and not those that will advise him. And that's why they are advising him wrong. When eventually power was ceded to Abia South, there was serious agitations. Most of the people today who are shouting, it must remain in Abia Central, it must remain in Ungwaland, it must that were the people against Okezie Ikpeazu when he came out to be governor. They were the people against him. We took it upon ourselves to make sure that for them to come back and accept Okezie Ikpeazu as governor. And I want to tell you, Okezie Ikpeazu's friend came to my house here one early morning. He woke me up and asked me why I am supporting Okezie Ikpeazu to be governor. And I looked at him, brought my drink and gave to him and asked him to leave. There was serious opposition against him. But as God may have it, you saw what happened during Okezie Ikpeazu's election. Because we had the capacity, we were able to deliver him 2 times. And I make bold to ask anybody from our brothers from that axis, who did what? What did they contribute to Okezie becoming governor? I generated the most single donation, the highest donation you can think of to Okezie Ikpeazu, which no Ngwa man was able to raise. Okezie is alive today. He is my friend.
How much was that?
I will not tell you how much. He knows it. So if I hate Ngwa people, how come I was that serious to make sure that Okezie Ikpeazu was governor? And I still support him to be governor. I still advise him. Frankly, because borrowing the word of my friend, Senator Dino Melai, if you talk the truth, you will die. If you talk lie, you will die. So I choose to say the truth. Not saying, okay, it's my friend. If he decides to throw me away as a friend, so be it. Because I brought him, Charles Obioha Ogbonnaya, made sure that Okezie became governor. I brought him and gave him to the people that made him governor. If he decides to say, no, I'm not governor, I throw you away, you're no longer my friend, so be it. It was my own. I've been in this journey for a very 36 years. The truth must be told. As a party man, I want to tell our people, please prevail on Okezie to zone the governorship seat of Abia State to Abia North, where it naturally belongs. I don't want a situation where people that have spent their future some 30 years ago will be the advising Okezie, formulating policies for my children. No, I am 69 years old. I cannot contest for governorship. I met my friend. The day I met him, he promised me that he was going to hand over to somebody junior, at least 40 years in Isialangwa, North, South, and Osisioma. That's what he told me. And I told him no. He turned around today to hand over to a 75-year-old man. What is a 75-year-old man going to do? After being the rector of Abia, rake that place down, rake Absu down, and you are bringing him to come and rake Abia down. We said no. We are saying no. And I want to use this opportunity to tell Ngwa people that I'm not their enemy. I don't hate them. I don't hate them for anything. No, at all. My best, I watched the video they did yesterday. Most of the people in that video, I made them. I made them politically. I don't have time to reply to them, but only to tell them. I may have made the mistake when I was pouring libation that no Ngwa man. I meant that in 2023, no Ngwa man will be governor. I still maintain it. I will work hard to see that no Ngwa man become governor of Abia State come 2023. There is no going back to that. There is no going back to that. Professor Ikone came to my house with his brother. He came here and said he's consulting. He wants to be governor. I said, which governor? To do what? To do what? What are you going to do? One, you are not a party man. You don't know what politics is all about. Two, you retired at 75 years. When he was staggering when he came to my house. He said he has been running around. So which stamina are you going to use to administer Abia? So that is the reason why I call you this morning to clarify this issue. Because Okezie, but my brother from another mother is my friend. And I will continue advising him against what he is doing because I know that what he is doing is wrong. Naturally, Abia governor come 2023 will come from Abia North. That is the reason why I call you this morning. So if there are other questions you want to ask me, you go on ahead. Let me also I remember now. I remember that in 2015 that I bought libation. I called because Ikpeazu is made up of 7 egus of 48 villages. And I brought the elders to come and pour libation for Okezie to win election. If I search, I'll get the video of that libation. No Ngwa man raised a voice. No section of this state raised a voice to ask me why I was pouring libation for Okezie to win the election. Okezie was standing there when that libation was poured. I am a traditionalist. Occasionally go to church. I believe in my ancestors. Anybody who don't, it's his business. It's not my business. So that is the reason why I've called us this morning, so that you can.
So
okay, thank you, sir, very much.
Yeah.
Let's do it in an orderly manner. Anybody that has a question, please can go ahead and do it.
okay, you are saying that you totally stand by the warning earlier by a PDP chieftain and of course the secretary of BOT of your party, talking about Senator Adolfo Suwabara, who predicted that PDP might get, of course, will get a protest vote in 2023 should the party cede power of give their flag, their gubernatorial flag to an Ngwa man. Is that what you're saying?
I called my son, Chim. I called him to go and use iron to give a mark to that wall. I write under it 2023 governorship dash. I told him that if the leadership of the party is going ahead to do what they are doing by leaving the governorship to Ngwa or to Abia Central of Ngwa extraction, PDP will fail. Look at him standing there. I told him to go and mark it there if it will not happen. I've been in this game for a very long time. I tell the truth, the way I should tell the truth. If we have a problem, I identify the problem and then how to solve that problem. Now we have a problem. You can see some of the governorship aspirants in PDP are leaving. Some of them are leaving the party. And when my friend handed over the decision-making of the party to Tonio Kasanya, I told him that he's digging a grave for this party. A man that has spent his future 30 years ago, that has nothing to offer again, that we are giving responsibility, appoint him an elder of the Elders Council of PDP, when the Constitution stipulates how we should elect our chairman. You appointed him. Let us see what will happen. All those old people, they don't have anything to regret. I have to regret. They don't have children. I have. And I want to see the future blossom for my children. I have journeyed this road for a very long time. I know what it takes. I'm not a thief. We will never be a thief. It's not in my DNA to be a thief, to steal money. Some people like stealing money. I do not steal money. Maybe that's why I am the way. I don't care. I don't give a damn of whatever anybody thinks, but I will never steal money. So for them that believe that you can only be in government to steal money, let's see what will happen when PDP will lose. Because if PDP loses this election in 2023, there's going to be panel of inquiry to examine what has been happening in Abia State. And we will know. If the party didn't do it, I will call on the party to set up panel of inquiry into what is happening in this state. We know, I've been a deputy chief of staff. I've been two-time commissioner for local government and chieftaincy, and commissioner for trade and investment. I've come a long way. I've been a special advisor in this state. So I know what is happening. If PDP fails, well, woe to them.
Okay, in all honesty, I think you just raised a very critical point. Whether or not PDP wins or fails, don't you think there is that's necessity for such a panel to be set up for accountability and transparency?
Because if PDP wins, they will cover up. Except you have somebody like me. Because if you have somebody like me who don't fear anybody, I will set up a panel of inquiry to know why Abia is not like Ebonyi. Ebonyi that was created the other day, go to Ebonyi and see how Ebonyi is. Ebonyi that was created the other day. Are we not ashamed of ourselves? How do we walk around? How do we walk around as Abians? When you look at videos of what, and you go to Ebonyi and see what is happening in Ebonyi, you go there and come back. You will sleep on your bed, wake up and say, hit your chest and say you are Abian. It's unfortunate.
Okay. Chief, you also mentioned a point. As a critical stakeholder in this administration, as somebody like you said a few minutes ago, who even brought the governor, for those that made him governor, to even so anoint him, and then as a friend of the governor, how be it to kept quiet till this point when the issue of zoning or no zoning of 2023 came up, for you to perhaps go public to remind Abians and of course the governor that Abia is not really what it is.
That's what my mother told me.
Okay.
I go to my friend, I go to his house, I speak the truth to him, I advise him on what I think is good for him to do. He started by appointing advisors. If you want to appoint a political advisor, appoint somebody that is knowledgeable about politics.
Okay.
Okay. Is anybody?
Yes,
Okay,
I have a
Yes.
Okay, sir. With your current position, what would you, if you are to advise Abians now, because they are the ones who are going to decide at the polls, what advice do you have for them? What do you want them to do?
2019 election, we were here. You saw what happened. You saw what happened 2019. What the electorate did. That's all I will say.
So, sir, on the final note from me, sir, what will be on this?
As asked before, you are saying final note
for me. from me, sir.
Okay, for
Just I will not ask again after this one.
Okay.
The governor is your friend,
Yes.
and you've said a lot of things in terms of the relationship with him. So I want you to advise him. What will be your advice? I know you've been advising him all this way, but what will be your advice today to the governor directly?
Today, first of all, I want to advise my friend. Don't vilify anybody that criticizes you. Constructive criticism is one of the ingredients of governance. Don't. Rather, take that, look at it very well, and see what you can make out of that advice. 2, my friend should please support any candidate from Abia North and not any other place for peace to reign in Abia. That is my advice for him. It is good for him for tomorrow because he will soon leave office. He will not remain governor forever. So that is my 2 major advice I will give to my friend. Not when somebody criticizes you, you throw him away from office, or you appoint his enemy,
Or you sack him.
or you sack him, or you send your aides against him. Unfortunately for me, I'm not in Facebook. I don't know what Facebook is all about. I heard people, so many people are calling me and say, you are being criticized in the Abia. It's my business.
Okay, please go ahead and ask the question. Yeah, go.
So I want to put in this just one question. As one of the founding fathers of the PDP in Abia State, and the one that introduced Ikpeazu to the office at which he has as the governor state today, do you think there are other ways that you can affect this policy now before 2023?
The only way I can do something is by him, because he's so powerful. As a governor, he's powerful. He has the money. The delegates will obey him. I'm not forcing him. You understand what I'm saying? But there is something that will happen during the general election, because I will come out to campaign against PDP. I will do that. I will vigorously campaign against PDP. That is what I will do.
Thank you very much, sir. I think at this point you allow the questions to come. We are through with our questions. Thank you. If we don't give